Welcome. This week on Steve's Kitchen, we're going to be making another simple Italian classic, eggs in Purgatory, ovo fra diavolo. Follow along, you'll enjoy it. So for the ingredients this week, we're going to be using 3 eggs, a can of whole tomatoes, fresh onion, fresh garlic, and again you can substitute, as always, dried garlic and dried onion. We have kosher salt, coarse ground black pepper, and basil. If you can get it, which I can't right now, fresh basil is always a great substitute. So in a medium-sized skillet, we're going to set it to about a medium temperature. We're going to let that warm up. We're going to add a little olive oil to it, about 3 ounces. I'm going to use about 3 cloves of garlic in this recipe. We're just going to take the shell off them. There we go. And then we're going to slice these up very finely. Into the pan goes the garlic. We'll just let that flavor up on the oil. We're going to get our onion ready next. So we'll get our onion ready really quick. We're just going to get it ready for a little dicing. You've seen me do this before. Just going to add a few little radial cuts. And then we'll slice it crossways, and that'll divide up our onion nicely. And that's all we're going to need for both these. Oil is flavored nicely now. Now we're going to add the onions. And we're not going to cook the onions down. We're actually going to now reduce this to a lower heat, about 1/4 heat. I'm just going to remove that from the heat a little bit for a moment, and we'll get our whole tomatoes ready next. For our whole tomatoes, I'm just going to dump them into a bowl, and what we're going to do is crush them by hand. I'll leave my hand facing down. You guys get the idea. Now you can use the diced tomatoes that we used a couple weeks ago for our regular tomato sauce. And this is very similar, but not quite the same. There's no oregano in this dish. All right, now we're just going to add this right into our mixture. All right, now we're going to turn up the heat again to about mid-level. And we're going to get this going. We're going to start adding our seasonings, the salt and pepper and the basil. And say if you can get fresh basil, that would be perfect. So with our tomatoes now in there, and we've got them on a medium heat. And we're just going to add a little basil, a little pepper, and a little kosher salt. We're going to add a bit more pepper and kosher salt after, once the eggs go in. Any big chunks of tomato you have, you may want to just break them down a little further. So So our tomatoes are now at medium heat and coming up to a simmering boil. We're almost ready to add our eggs here. Just gonna let it get a little warmer. So turn the heat down, and now we're ready to add our eggs. Whoop. So just add the eggs and let them nestle right down into the tomatoes. And we're going to add a cover to that to help the eggs cook. And again, keep the heat on low. So eggs in purgatory was a dish that I grew up with as a child. I remember usually on Friday nights being in a Catholic-oriented family, and it was one of my favorites. One of my favorite ways to have eggs, that is. Anyways, it's very simple and I've always enjoyed it. All right, their eggs starting to poach nicely. I'm just going to add a little pepper to each of them. Just a touch of salt. Very little salt is needed. And we're just going to return the cover on it and let it sit for about 3 more minutes. Other things you can add to your eggs in purgatory would be mushrooms, sliced bell peppers, or even maybe a side of bacon. Bacon makes it better. Here we are, 3 minutes later, and I think our eggs are looking pretty darn good. Another thing you can have your eggs in purgatory with would be some nice pieces of toast. Nothing like dipping them into the sauce and the yolk of the egg. They are delicious. All right, so I'm going to gather up a little bit of the sauce. And I'm going to gather up an egg. Just set it down. A little bit more of those wonderful tomatoes. I love tomatoes. So I've added bacon and some olives as the sides for my dinner, and we're going to try it out for our first bite. As always, first bite's always the treat. This would be an egg lover's delight. There's no doubt about it. The eggs are beautiful. The sauce works really well with them. And who doesn't like bacon on the side or a good olive? Give it a go. You'll enjoy it. Share, like, and subscribe. And as well, please comment. Maybe comment on what you'd like to see me try and cook in my future episodes. Anyways, keep it simple. La dolce vita, the good life. Well, it's a balmy -1 today. A little bit of snow, but spring, it is getting close. Looking forward to it. I'm just gonna take them. Whoop! I got some extra cleaning to do tonight. As always, keep your kitchen clean. Happy wife, happy life. La dolce vita.